Good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shaoyang Shen. I'm a Deputy President of Zijin Mining Group. It is an honor and my pleasure to speak at the conference today, and I would like to thank organizers of the Future Minerals Forum for providing this great opportunity. So my speech will be centered around challenges that is facing our industry, as well as opportunities ahead of us. Before I get started, I want to provide a disclaimer on future-looking statements during my presentation. First, I would like to take a few minutes making a very brief introduction about Zijin, as not everybody is familiar with the company. Zijin started as a single gold company 30 years ago in China, and today it has become a multinational mining company with operations and development projects in 16 countries across Asia, Africa, Europe, Oceania, and South America. The company is one of the major producers of gold, copper, zinc, and is becoming an emerging producer of lithium as well. The company is listed in Hong Kong Stock Exchange and Shanghai Stock Exchange with a recent market cap of approximately $60 billion. The company produces over 1 million tons of copper and more than 2 million ounces of gold annually, and has become the fastest growing mining company in recent years, with copper production grew 3 times and gold production doubled in 5 years. Zijin aspires to be a leading global mining company, and ESG is something we take seriously. The company has implemented an integrated, sustainable, and deliverable policies and practices to address environmental, social, and corporate governance issues that most of us in the industry face. We are taking active steps as part of global actions against climate change. The company has implemented measures across the whole group to reduce the use of fossil fuels in our mines and plants and promote the use of renewable energy and low-carbon technology as much and as practically as possible. By 2030, more than 30% of the energy we use will come from renewable sources. Next, I would like to share what we believe to be some of the most significant challenges that we in the industry face. Among all the challenges, I think the rising uncertainty over global economy is most concerning, as many major economies are experiencing slowing down or showing signs of distress recently. While the negative impact of high inflation and high interest rates are fading, the IMF predicted that growth rates for the world economy for the coming years will be noticeably lower than the pre-pandemic levels, highlighting ongoing structural challenges for many countries. And what is not helpful is the recent trend of anti-globalization, increased protectionism, and imposing of higher tariffs and more restrictive trade policies by many economies. Also, as we are aware, in the coming months, there are a number of new governments coming to power, including those in European and North American countries. This has added another layer of uncertainty in terms of trade and investment policies these new governments may bring with them. In recent years, there has been rising geopolitical tensions among major economies who are rivaling for mutually exclusive supply of key industrial materials, including critical minerals. And the tension has put significant stress on global supply and value chains. As more governments are looking at global cooperation from the lens of national security, cross-border investment and transaction has become more complicated and uncertain. Under these policies and practices, the most impacted are small cap and exploration companies, as these companies' access to international funding from time to time are being restricted by their own government or other governments, resulting in some of them having to hold back investment in exploration and development projects. Surging nationalism sentiment in a number of resource-rich countries also have increased the risk and cost for investing in mining, as we have witnessed numerous occasions in recent years where some governments in the host countries try to extract more economic benefits and interest from foreign invested mines through cohesive means, or worse, outright nationalization of mining assets. Apparently, these unfortunate trends have a negative impact on the health of the global mining industry. In recent years, there are a lot of talks about concerns of supply of minerals, particularly by politicians in a lot of capital cities. But what is fascinating are substantially less talks about risk from demand side. China has been a key driver for the growth of global mining industry in the past 2 decades, with the country consuming up to 40 to 50% of major industrial metals in the past decade, as illustrated in the charts on the left-hand side of the slide. But demand from China can no longer be taken as granted. Today, an industrialized China has shifted fundamentally in its growth model. Chinese demand for industrial commodities are experiencing much slower growth. As we can see from the graph in the right-hand side of the slide, Chinese investment in manufacturing and infrastructure sectors have slowed sharply in the past couple of years, and the real estate sector actually have entered into negative territory. With Chinese economy slowing down, it is logical to predict its demand for industrial materials, including various types of minerals, will also be coming down. Amid increasing geopolitical and economic uncertainties, miners are more cautious about exploration investment, leading to a marked decline in discoveries, with large, high-quality deposits becoming increasingly rare. The industry faces inadequate resource replenishment, with an imbalance between resources depletion and less new reserve. Producing mines are under pressure from declining grade, while virtually all aspects of operation costs have gone up. Development of new projects has also become more challenging, with CapEx per unit of metal output rising significantly. All these issues has pointed to signs that the industry may be losing momentum of growth. Even though we apparently are facing some challenges, as I just illustrated, there are also encouraging opportunities as well. Mineral resources a cornerstone of social economic development, and the mining industry remains one of the key drivers of the world economic. However, as technologies evolve and industries advance, the types of minerals that are in high demand are also changing. Copper, the most cost-effective conductor, is important for the energy transition. Lithium, the lightest and most active metallic element, is critical for electrification. Other high-demand minerals include nickel, copper, zinc, and silver. In short, there are many opportunities and good potentials for the industry in this new energy transition era. International cooperation is critically important for the mining industry, and indeed, I think international cooperation is the key topic that has got the most talk during this forum. As we all know, mineral resources worldwide are distributed unevenly. On the one hand, developed countries and China do not mine much of the minerals, but consume most of them. On the other hand, many resource-rich countries need capital investment, mining and industrial technology, and operational expertise for more advanced economies. We believe it should be the market that determines allocation of these economic resources. Integral global supply chains, instead of segmentation of markets, is important for robust growth for the industry in the long run, as well as for the health of the world economic. Internationally, efficient capital markets are imperative for funding of project development and mine operations. New York, Toronto, Sydney, London, and Hong Kong stock exchanges play a significant role in this regard. It is our view, and I think most of our peers in the industry would agree, that market-based cross-border transactions with no political interference have benefited all parties and contributed to better allocation of resources and funding for project development. We believe international cooperation serves the best interests of all stakeholders, including local communities, governments, suppliers, employees, and apparently investors, and should be allowed to continue functioning as it has been. Now I would like to focus back to the opportunities in the kingdom. Even though Saudi Arabia, for decades, has been one of the world's largest oil-producing countries, the kingdom actually has great mining potential, as the Arabian-Nubian Shale is highly prospective of gold, copper, zinc, nickel, and other minerals. The kingdom is driving a transition toward a more diversified, less oil-dependent economy, and has introduced favorable policies and regulations, improved business environment, and mining is one of the priorities. And this has provided good opportunities for international mining companies. The country has some of the best transportation and power supply infrastructures in the region, and is strategically located at the junction of Asia, Africa, and Europe, and therefore providing an ideal location for setting up processing facilities as well. We believe the kingdom will achieve its goals of becoming one of the most attractive mining and processing hubs globally. To conclude the presentation, I would like to reiterate my strong belief of international cooperation for the mining industry. The fact that so many major players from the industrial and various groups of stakeholders have come to real. We are gathering here, discussing issues that are important to the industry, as well as exploring opportunities gives me the confidence that working together, we in the mining industry will have a brighter future. That's all my presentation. Thank you very much for your interest.